everyone. Welcome to the Fireplace podcast. We are here with Simone Elisa.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for being here. Great performance.
Thank
you. That was
you.
incredible.
Super
I
fun.
definitely want to talk about, everything about you and also just your songs, and we'll get there. I absolutely love your songs. I think you're so talented.
Thank you.
And your voice is so incredible.
Thank you.
But yeah, I mean, tell us about your story. How did you start with music, and what led you to pursue music?
Okay, so I definitely was into music young.
Mm-hmm.
When I was like really little, I would just make up songs like about I would like make up little like theme songs.
Nice.
And it annoyed my brother like a lot, but I did it all the time.
Okay.
And my family was like, well, maybe she likes this. But I just like kept going with that. And then my parents ended up getting a piano when I was like, I think I was in like first grade. And my dad tried to teach me piano. And I was like a terrible student because I was just like, didn't want to learn from my dad, I think. So I was like, I'm ignoring you. And then cut to like high school, and I was like, wait, I actually do want to learn piano a little bit. But by then no one would teach me in my family because they were like, no, I'm not going through that again. So
they were kind of like, yeah, we try to.
Yeah, they were like, you can try on your own first. So I ended up, I would like come home from school and play piano, but I didn't know what I was doing. So I would like, unbeknownst to me, I'd like be playing chords. And I was like, oh, that sounds nice next to this one. And then I started singing melodies over it because I was just bored and I didn't know how to play piano. So I ended up like inadvertently starting to write music through that. And then I would go to school and show my friends and then like test out songs. And they were like, oh, they'd like tell me which ones they liked. So I was like, okay, I think I should pursue this.
Did you start with writing songs on the piano then?
Yeah.
You were like, I want to learn.
Yeah.
And then just...
It was like by accident, honestly. But then I was like, I can channel all my like weird theme songs into something.
would you
but
come
now make it about boys.
Would you come up with the theme songs with your voice, you say, or with the piano?
Just with I would like just sing random stuff all the time.
Nice.
So then the piano was like a way to like converge the two. And then I like after high school, I ended up studying voice.
Nice.
Yeah. So and through that just kept going. I kept writing songs like in my dorm and stuff, and ended up having a band through that, and then ended up in LA after that.
Was that in college?
Yeah.
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 Nice.
We would play a lot. It was like shows in the like DC area. So we were like every weekend going out and playing shows.
Oh, where are you from?
Actually from Manassas, is like Northern Virginia.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So I studied at GMU, George Mason.
Nice.
And then met my bandmates there. And honestly, we started recording music like in that time. And I was like, wait, I can actually take it a step further. It's not just me playing piano and like singing by myself. And so it kind of kept evolving.
Okay.
Yeah.
You were like, oh, I can actually do this with band. And
Yeah. And like we can record it.
Absolutely.
And then we came to LA to record before we moved here, just to like record with some friends.
Oh, nice.
And I was like, I could take it a step further again. And that's how
Nice.
just a constant slowly evolving.
Just like learning and
being like,
just
how
progressing.
far can I push that?
I see. That's awesome. Wow. Yeah, I mean, that's really cool. That's a really good journey.
Thank you.
Would you say
It's been a journey.
It's been a journey. I totally feel you. Music is like that. Okay, I'm so interested about the stories behind the songs that you performed for us. If you guys haven't watched the performance, please go right now. It's linked somewhere in the description. So yeah, please. Oh my God, I want to know. I want to know the story behind that, and what inspired you to make those songs.
Cool. Yeah. I mean, Don't Give In and Alter Ego. Don't Give In was written first, and they're both kind of in the same vein. They're not about the exact same thing, but they're like similar subject matter.
Nice.
Don't Give In, when I first moved to LA, I had like a exceedingly hard year. Like the first year was just like very, very rough. And I think because I went from being like a small fish I went from being a big fish in a small pond to coming here, and suddenly I was a small fish in a big pond.
Right.
And I was trying to get advice, and like see how I could make this happen in this like different way, on a bigger scale. But I felt sort of boxed out, and I think it's hard at first to like almost to be taken seriously. It's like everyone
Absolutely.
says like, oh, I make music. So then everyone's like, oh, sure, And that was kind of the vibe I got Not from everyone. I had some really supportive people too in my corner, which I'm lucky. But there were also a couple that just made it feel like it would be
too hard,
or
and
I couldn't do it.
Too much of a big dreamer,
right. And that is like the worst, to deal with. Like mentally having to like get back over that hurdle and like actually I can do that and it is what I want to do. So it's like, why not?
Exactly. Like, it doesn't matter what anyone thinks or says.
Yeah,
you want to do it. It just took and you're gonna do it.
Exactly. And it took so long to get to a place I think where I was like, well, that I really truly believed in myself again after, because it was just such a rough start and I didn't expect it to be. It was almost like shell shock. Like I was like, I don't know where I am. I don't know what I'm doing. And it was so, I wrote the song Don't Give In about that time, but it was so many years later. And I think it was just something that had to be said. Like I had to get it out. And it was like lurking there, like needed to come out. And the whole thing, the whole premise is kind of sticking it to people that act that way, or especially to women. And I feel like that happens a lot in music, unfortunately. But back when I first moved here, like that was something I felt. Wow. So it was kind of like, you know what? Screw that. Like screw everything that person said. Let's go. So that's
absolutely.
Alter Ego is like similar. It's kind of similar subject matter. It's not about the same thing, but it is about feeling again like sort of underestimated. Okay. And Alter Ego is like, you don't really know me. Like I can be like someone that you don't see in front of you. Like, and I think sometimes being friendly or being outgoing, people think they tend to underestimate,
I see. So they can like almost, they think they can take advantage of how kind you could be.
Right. And the red flags, I mean, at this point I can like spot the red flags like 5,000 miles away.
You can just tell who doesn't have a good vibe and you're like, yeah, I'm okay.
Yeah. Like you just know at some point. But that song is also just about like reclaiming your sense of self, like your sense of power, because I think sometimes we give our power away and we let other people's definition of us become our own. We're like, oh, well, they thought that, so maybe there's something to that or something.
And then you almost like sort of convince yourself that that's the truth.
Yeah. Even though you know it's not. Yes. It's still there.
Absolutely.
And it sucks, but you have to like push through. And I don't know, I wouldn't want anyone else to feel, I want everyone to know, like you can really change your life. Like you can decide that you can do something and do it. And I don't know, the sky's the limit. Honestly, you can like literally decide to be a pop music artist and like make music and go do that thing.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I totally agree. I think it's also just the fear and, you know, everyone has insecurities and I think it's hard to go past that sometimes.
Yeah.
But
it's a battle.
Absolutely.
For sure.
And I think every artist and every, not only creative people, but every person that really, it's a big dreamer. Yeah. Like definitely, you know, people get judged and people don't understand them. They think, oh, you're crazy. Why would you take such a risk?
Right.
You know, and it's like, well.
And what's the risk?
Exactly. It's
I don't understand.
It's like, what else am I going to do? It's like, this is the only thing I want to do.
Yeah.
You know,
and why does it bother other people? That's the thing that is for me. I'm like, why does it bother you?
That is so true.
Like if I want to try to do something, what's it to you? You know?
That is so true. Oh my God. I've never thought about that.
You know, like why is everyone so bothered?
I love that. I love that so much. Yeah, I mean, I want to talk about so many things, but I don't know why something is coming to my head of like, because we're talking about your songs, I'm really interested on how you write songs. What's your songwriting process?
Yeah.
Or, you know, like what's like do you have like a method or like, you know, like do you do like sort of like a ritual or something?
Oh my gosh, I need a ritual. That would be cool. Right? Yeah.
Like a step by step.
Yeah. I kind of like every single song is so different. Sometimes I still go to the piano to start.
Nice.
Actually, Don't Give In, I wrote on the ukulele first. Oh. I just liked those chords a lot. And the first couple of lines came to my mind. I think that you don't like it when I win. And I was like, ooh, beautiful. That could be something. And that was like, that song is, I mean, a lot of songs are like the same 4 chords, you know? But I was like, I like these chords. Let's just keep going with it. And then finally, like, it was therapy. So I was like, I got it out, yes. But then that one, like, moving into production, I like to produce a little bit on my own at first. Sometimes the whole track I'll produce by myself. But I often start with, like, a demo version of what I want to, like, happen in the song. I'll have it all mapped out and a lot of not a lot. Sometimes I'll leave it like a little more bare so that other producers can come in and also like add to the what's there, you know?
Absolutely.
So I don't want to like crowd the space too much in that case, and that's what happened with Don't Give In. I left it. I had like a few like synth things and a little bit of drums. We brought it to our friend Nate Troy. My husband is like, he works on all the production with me too.
Nice.
So the three of us like on that track had so much fun bringing that track to life. I literally the first day that we got like the production really down for it, and we worked with Nate, when we drove home, I was like laughing, and then I like started crying a little bit because I was like, this song, like it sounds like what I want it to sound like, you know?
That's beautiful.
So that was like that song in particular had like a very unique journey, and Alter Ego was like a lot of my own production. I did like the majority of production on that song. Just hanging out one day. I think that I was like just vibing on it, and then I was like, well, let's just keep going, adding things. And that one started on the computer too. So it was like, I was looking to do like a synth pop song, kind of retro, like if possible, like an 80s like vibe essence.
Like The Weeknd.
Yeah.
Or something like that. Nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So piano or sometimes on the computer.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's honestly, I feel like everyone has their different process.
Yeah.
And,
or sometimes like if a lyric pops in my head, I'll write it in my phone for later.
Nice.
Or a melody will come in, I'll like record it to myself in my phone and then be like, what was that one thing, you know?
have you ever thought about what kind of things you're doing when like a melody pops in your head? Like for
so
one of
random.
my friends, it's like she's like riding a bike, and every time she rides a bike, she's
it's
like, oh my god,
that's where it just happens. Yeah.
It's like I have this beautiful idea.
Oh my god, that does happen actually. Like I feel like it's usually when I'm not doing any, like I'll be like cooking or like working out or something. And
have you ever had it when it comes into like your dream and you're like,
yes,
really?
Yeah.
I've had that happen once, and it was
it's
like
the best.
It was so funny because I was dreaming about my friend, a friend of mine that I know.
Yeah.
And I dreamt about that this song that was so cool was his music video.
Oh, cool.
And then like it feels so real, and I woke up and I was like,
I know that song.
But I was like,
it's in my dreams.
but it was like, that's not my song's. That's not my friend's song.
Yeah.
It's literally just
it was a song like
that I
dream song
in my dreams.
Yeah.
But he was in the music video.
Oh my gosh, that's
singing
so
it.
cool.
And then it was like 5 a.m. and I was like,
yes,
it's like in my voice notes, and I was like, yeah, I'll check on that later.
That's
but I was
really
like,
amazing.
I was
though.
like, I need to just like get this out somehow.
That's happened to me, and it's funny too because it was a music video vision in the dream.
Yes.
The song Chaos is like one of my songs I released last year.
Nice.
I dreamt that chorus, and I like saw the music video and like woke up, and I like recorded it into my phone. I was like, I'm sorry, Troy. Nice. And then when I listened it back to it the next day, I could like barely make it out because I was trying to sing so quietly and I was like half asleep. So I was like, oh no, it's gone. And then I started like remembering it over the day, and I was like, oh my god, yay!
You remembered.
Yeah.
I was so scared that like I wouldn't remember. But I was like, I need to do it right now. You know, and like especially in any dream too. I like sometimes I don't remember my dreams, and I'm trying to get better at like just writing down all my dreams so I can like actually remember.
That's
and then,
cool.
Like, so
that's a good idea. Actually.
Yes. No. Totally.
Yeah.
And especially when you like, it's like things creatively, you know.
Right.
Like, if an idea that is a creative idea comes to my mind while I'm dreaming, I would love to remember that.
Yeah. Sometimes if you like, if you start to forget and you go back to sleep, and it'll like, you know, when you like restart a dream. Oh my god. Like I've always wondered if you like lose a song, a dream song, if you could like go back to sleep and hear it again and then wake up and do it.
I've forgotten that you can do that. I haven't been able to do that.
It doesn't happen every time.
No.
You know when it's going to happen though.
Yeah.
You're like, if I keep dreaming right now, I'm going to get the end of that plot.
Yeah.
You know?
That's very true. Anyway, I'm trying to think about like just people that you might be like influenced by with music, or just do you have any any inspiration, if it's someone or something that inspires you to make music?
That's cool. I love synth pop.
Okay.
So I really love Tovlo.
Oh my god,
She's amazing.
Yeah.
She's so freaking good. I'm obsessed with her music, and that's actually around the time I wrote Alter Ego. I was like listening to a lot of her new album. I was like, how do I like be more like Tovlo. She's so cool. I just love the production. I mean, I don't know how to do like that style of production very well. I wish I did. I'm obsessed with also her lyrics. Like I really like how she sings almost sometimes. Oh, she owns her sexuality a lot, which I think is really cool. Yes. And she sings about things that are like a little taboo, but she does it so well and like almost sneakily like in the lyric where you would miss it if you weren't really like paying attention. And I think that is so awesome.
Wow.
Like I want to be free like that in lyrics, like to just say, because I think sometimes as a writer you like almost are like, well, if I say this, will this person think this or that person think it's about that or whatever. And like the best writing is where you take yourself out and you're like, what does like something else want to say, like whatever's coming through that needs to be said,
right?
Because we're just trying to like enlarge the human experience, like in music, you know,
absolutely,
like or hone in on something,
right? And
so I just respect that a lot, that she can like say something that most people would be afraid to say, but she does it with such confidence, and it speaks to people because they're like, oh, like I totally get that.
She's
or
like,
whatever.
this is me, and this is
what
I want to say.
100% authentic.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
If they like it or no, it's like,
like she just needs to say it. And it might not even be like about a certain thing. It could just be something that like the song needs to be said, you know, because it's usually about the song over like a personal experience sometimes. Sometimes it's both.
And sometimes you don't know either who's going to really relate to that.
Yeah.
So
if the song is like begging you to be honest or begging you to like go there, it's like, why would you hold back, you know?
Absolutely.
But I find myself sometimes like wanting to go further and like wanting to get that lyricism to like really stick it, you know, and be like, this is what I want to say. And she does it just so well. So she's definitely one of my like first like people that comes to mind. I really like Bonnie McKee.
Okay.
She's like 80s vibes so heavily. She's like the best pop writer, and she knows how to like just write the strongest hook and like powerhouse vocals. It's just amazing.
Wow.
So I really like her. And my last thing I would say is ABBA. I'm like ABBA forever.
God. No, I love ABBA so much.
Yes.
Dude,
ABBA is like timeless, like for a reason.
Yes. I would dance to their songs forever.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
Like they
have the best melodies. I mean, their melodies are like always so, it's like happy and powerful over even like the saddest chords.
Yes.
And it's like the perfect melodic, like I could get like into theory.
No,
they're just amazing. Like it does, I don't know, the way that they go like through the way that they choose their notes, I feel like is always major feeling, even when the chords are like mostly minor, or if the song is in minor.
Oh, I see what you mean. So they make it feel like happier.
You still feel
like
it's
like
still
hopeful.
Yeah. There's still like that. It just sticks with your brain so well because it's like so catchy and a little bit like
melancholic.
Yeah. Like the way that they, I don't know, the shape of their like melodies is really good.
Wow. I don't know why Fleetwood Mac comes to my mind as well.
I love
Fleetwood Mac. Wow. I just that whole
obsessed.
era. I'm like so obsessed.
I know.
And somehow like I'm from Peru originally, so I like somehow like, you know, in Peru it's just like all about reggaeton and all of this.
Yeah.
But coming here, I just feel like I've turned into, I fucking love
like
dancing 70s and 80s, and I'm just like, you know, like totally
God,
what we would not dance. You know what I mean?
I know they have a way of like hooking you.
It's
Fleetwood
great.
Mac,
it's
especially.
So great.
I watched the Stevie Nicks documentary recently, and I'm like, I need more of that. I just want to watch all of her like life story all the time.
I should watch that. That's awesome.
Through the Looking Glass is on Prime.
Nice. Well, I see that two of the artists you mentioned are women, and I definitely want to go into like, how do you feel about like the current state in like, you know, for women in the industry, in the music industry? And you know, I just want to know like your take on that. And
it's like it's hard.
Right.
It's hard for women in music. I think that there's more women in music now, but I think there's still way too few.
Absolutely.
You know, and I think also especially when I first moved here, kind of like what I was saying with Don't Give In. But there were times where people really made me feel like my opinion about production did not matter. It was like irrelevant on my own music, you know? And so it was like, there came a point where I was like, I'm going to produce my music because I don't want anyone to tell me what my music's going to sound like anymore. And I owe it to myself to like follow that and see what it sounds like. you know?
Yes.
But I feel like in general, women have been a little bit discouraged in music.
Absolutely.
And like the more women come in, and the more men that invite women in too, which is really important. I feel like this is also something that needs to be like thought about from men more, is to invite women in, because it is such a boys' club still.
Yep.
It's starting to change, but it's like we're so far from it being where it needs to be.
I agree.
And women should, I mean, we have to try so much harder just to be like heard in a studio. And it has gotten under my skin so many times, like having produced my own music and then someone assuming I didn't produce my music. And that was like my whole
they hear it,
time.
they hear it and they're like,
oh, it's awesome. Who made it?
Yeah.
Like, you know, and like to any guy that's in the room, they're like, great, that's a great track, you know? I'm like, I made that track. But like, I'm over it. No, I was just kidding. I'm not over it. But I don't know. For a while, it really bothered me where I would like almost feel like I needed to very outwardly be like, I produced this, I'm a producer, and like say it over and over again just so people knew. And I still felt like it was falling on deaf ears. So at some point I just stopped. I was like, you can find out for yourself, because it doesn't matter to me anymore. Like I know that I made that music, so people will find out eventually.
I see.
But yeah,
I see.
women need more space and they need to be invited in more.
Absolutely. I totally agree. I feel the same way, especially sometimes like when you're performing and like you would ask for, like I've had this happen to me where I would ask for more sound in my monitor. Hey, can I get more, I don't know, more of the kick of the drummer on my monitor?
Yeah.
They would be like, just sometimes rolling
like
their eyes at me. And
acting
I'm
like, why would you want that? Like you don't know.
Or they mostly, they look at you being a girl that plays an instrument and they're like,
I know, the assumptions are...
Immediately they assume they're going to be all right.
Yeah.
Or like, oh, she must be not as good.
Right.
And then when you are good, they come to you and they're like, whoa, my God.
I know.
Then you're like, no. No.
Yeah, it's like, I remember you were a jerk earlier.
I mean, nothing against, sound guys. I mean, I'm pretty sure there was like some sound engineers are incredible.
They're just amazing sound
They're incredible.
engineers
But I feel like there are just some people that like are so...
I think that in that space as well.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. And it's just hard for them to be like kind to women. And like, I'm like, why?
I don't know why it's so hard to like wrap anyone's mind around that a woman would make music or be good at music, because like, I mean, creativity is like inherent also to like all humans and women, like especially women. I just feel like we like have a lot of, I mean, women's intuition is a thing.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of creative like flow that can happen there. And we're, I think, almost pushed out because it's like, I think, well, obviously the times, we're still getting out of like a time where it was women weren't even allowed in spaces to like create. So we're like pushing against that. But I think there hasn't been enough time, I guess, for men to catch up, maybe like to be like, this is different now, we should act different.
Absolutely. I think there's many cultures as well, especially I mean, I want to say Latin culture is very much like this, where it's just very like it's very sexist, you know, like
there's
I
like
feel
stereotypes, like gender roles.
People so like just it's the culture thing, and they think it's normal to say certain things, and it's almost like sometimes without fighting, obviously, it's just discussing like, hey, like if one of my friends or someone that I care about would say something that it's a little like, hey, you shouldn't say that. I would, I'm not going to fight with them, but I would definitely be like, hey, like, I don't think that's right to say. Yeah. And I sort of understand the first time when it's like, it comes from like your culture and how you've
it's like ingrained.
Raised. Yeah. But, if they don't,
if you don't change it, if they don't change it.
And if they don't agree with me, I would be like, okay, then.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think there are so many men too that are trying and like making a big effort.
Absolutely. Yes.
Like we're lucky that like, I know both of us know like really cool men in music.
Yes.
But there are still like so many that just need to be like more open-minded and like bring women in.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I feel like it would make music better.
Yes.
And women shouldn't be like the smaller percentage in music. Yes. I just wish it wasn't like that.
Yes.
I honestly, a lot of the writing I do, I'm like trying to like it's more geared towards women. Like obviously I'm like, I want to speak to women because I've been through it and I want them to be like, I can do it too.
I
like,
love that.
You know, because we just need someone to reinforce and be like,
absolutely,
you can freaking do it. Like anyone that doesn't get it at this point can like, they can just go somewhere else. I don't know. I was going to cuss.
No. I mean, can we cuss? I think we can. I've pretty much.
So many times I've like caught myself almost cussing and I was like, no.
Yeah, I think we're in a safe space too. You know?
Yeah, it's like beep.
Yeah, I mean it's been so lovely to have you.
Thank you.
I definitely want to know more about. Please tell everyone about your future projects.
Cool.
I don't know if you're releasing something.
Yeah.
I mean, where they can find you.
Okay.
Guys, you have to listen to her music. It's incredible. So,
dude, thank you so much for having
Absolutely.
me. First and foremost, this is like such a nice experience, and it's been so amazing to chat with you and like just like get to share a little bit about my music and what goes on behind it.
Absolutely, we're here for it, and like mainly for people to know you better.
That's cool. That's cool. Well, I have everything on Spotify. My artist name is Simone Elisa. My Instagram's it's Simone Elisa. My TikTok is the same.
Smart.
I deleted Twitter. Facebook is somewhere out there. I think it's the same. I don't know. But yeah, so I have all the socials. Come find me. I'm constantly, I try to release new music a lot.
Okay.
I had a little breather after Alter Ego because we moved into a new place. So we're like setting up our studio. But I started working on new music like since we moved in. And I think we're going to have one done like in a couple weeks and have something out hopefully at the end of July.
Nice.
So,
okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, that's so nice. Thank you.
It's been
so lovely to have
fun.
you. And
it.
Guys, please go watch her. Her performance is unbelievable.
Oh, thank you.
And thank you so much for watching.
Thank you for watching.
Bye.
Bye.